Good morning, everybody. It is Caffeine Corner time. I got my smug. Look at that. Yay. This is, by the way, the wonderful design by Commander Cheshire here. But anyways, good morning, everybody. You know what? Hang on. I'm gonna say this right off the top, but it's probably gonna be wrong. But I'm gonna say this is probably gonna be a short episode, but it's probably gonna be normal. But I'm gonna try to make it a short episode because, well, I'm going to go on vacation here soon, so I want to get going. And
I'm doing my best, sir.
Yeah. So, anyways, we got a few things planned out for you guys. Chesh wants to start off by actually doing little things differently. She usually does the Reddit stuff, but she's going to do something different. She's going to explain to you guys definitions because everybody likes to talk about definitions. Steve's the definition guy. Well, we're going to give you guys a word each time and kind of go over some of the definitions with you. So, Chesh?
Yeah, the list that we're picking off is just kind of a list that I've curated off of Twitter, because of course, and it's just essentially words or phrases that people throw out to be dismissive. So I want to kind of pull these back to be like, oh, well, you guys are just perpetuating drama, which is our word of the day. Drama.
Wow, that's kind of a coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah, weird. It's almost like these shows are planned. I don't know.
Oh, is that how it works?
Back the curtain. So drama, we're going to Urban Dictionary for this because we're not using proper definitions. We're using them the way they're being used on Twitter. So Urban Dictionary is the most appropriate for our purposes here. So drama, a way of relating to the world in which a person consistently overreacts to or greatly exaggerates the importance of benign events. Typically, drama is used by people who are chronically bored or those who seek attention. People who engage in drama will usually attempt to drag other people into their dramatic state as a way of gaining attention or making their own lives more exciting. Common warning signs and risk factors of drama or a dramatic person are: 1. Having one supposedly serious problem after another. 2. Constantly telling other people about one's problems. 3. Extreme emotionality or frequently shifting intense emotions. 4. Claiming to have experienced negative events that are highly implausible. 5. Have a boring or mundane life. 6. Making claims without sufficient evidence or lack of detail about supposedly serious events. 7. A pattern of irrational behavior and reactions to everyday problems. Example given, Sarah had a slight fever and a mild cough. She decided to use drama in order to receive sympathy and attention, so she told everyone she was deathly ill.
Now, okay, so I like Urban Dictionary. Obviously, these are not meant to be taken too seriously. However, there is some things to be said from these things, right? A lot of people don't understand that this is not a drama show. This is a show about informing the community about what's been going on for the last week or so. It's not to facilitate drama. It's basically to respond to people that probably are the people creating drama more or less. So I thought would be fun is if we kind of went through each one of these one by one. Chester and I are not going to give you any hints for this stuff. We're not going to be using any names today. Well, at least till we get to
because we don't want to perpetuate anything.
Yeah, because we don't want to perpetuate drama. So we're just going to go through each one of these things, and you guys could tell us who you think this applies to the most. Does that sound fun?
I think it sounds fun. This is going to be really heavily oriented with chat, you guys, so...
Yeah, we're involving you guys real quick. By the way, I really want to throw this out there. I forgot to do this at the top of my head, or the top of the show. I want to thank P.O. Chanel, too, for the graphics. He did the wonderful thumbnail and the one I have up here right now. Just a masterful job. So thank you, P.O. By the way, I did the other 5%, just FYI, all me. Chess, I don't know what the hell Chess does. So...
Me either. I just show up.
I was like, hey, Cheshire, what you doing today? Oh, I don't know. Okay, let's do a show. Okay. All right, so let's go through these one by one. Chesh.
I'm one of those people with a boring job or a mundane life.
Very mundane. What's number one here, Chesh?
Having one supposed serious problem after another. Sound like anybody?
Yeah, who's this? I'm like, here's the thing. I mean, these also apply to real people. We all have serious issues, right? But like my serious issues have been the same shit. Obviously, they don't vary that much. It's not like one problem after another. It's just one issue that I've turned on to resolve for a very long time now. But if you guys had to apply this to somebody, who would it be?
I can't give any hints.
Oh, Mr. Serious says it sounds like Mr. Serious.
No,
Mr. Serious, I don't think you're a drunk.
There's one word in that makes this very, very, like, it's a very important word in that entire sentence. It's supposedly.
Oh, that's true.
Supposedly,
yeah, that's
serious.
true. Oh, that's a good noting of that, because, like I said, we all have serious problems, but these are supposed serious problems.
Yeah, sounds like my old boss. Without a crystal ball.
Oh, that's
Mr. A.
That might work.
Got
two for her.
Let's go number 2.
Russian vids.
Russian vids.
I don't think that's Russian vids. Russian vids is a serious problem.
I also think Russian vids also has serious problems.
He's got serious issues. All right.
EOT.
Oh, EOT is good.
Yeah. Number 2, constantly telling other people about one's problems.
Which is very similar to 1. In fact, probably the same answers, I would guess. No, we're not going to talk about your mother.
Russian scared of women vids.
Trigger tits. By the way, can I say that word without being demonetized? I'm hoping we don't get demonetized this video. On my last 5 were demonetized. The one I did on cyberbullying was demonetized. I don't know. I think YouTube hates me now.
Theory of a Blind Man said, "I'd like to thank you for everything, Steve and crew. I mean, mob. Your content gives." I almost said content. Your content gives hope to similar. Oh my god, I can't read anymore.
Drink more caffeine.
And help. Your content gives hope to the smaller channels like mine who constantly fight for speaking actual truth, fact, not feelings. Well, maybe we'll get to have you on sometime.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Hey, you know what? Send me a Twitter DM. My DMs are open with your channel, and I'll take a look and see if you can fit in anywhere.
Well, we got a Brett Keane in there. Boy, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Sounds like Trump.
Yeah, somebody asked me that are you gonna ever have Brett Keane on? I'm like, no.
Oh, am I clipping? I'm sorry. I might be able to fix that.
We have a Mr. Atheist in there. I don't watch Mr. Atheist stuff, so I couldn't even tell you what. Now the dog wants to tell you about the problems. All right, let's go on number 3. Extremely emotional or frequently shifting intense emotions. Now, I have my own personal view for this one, but you guys can give me who you think. But again, I'm not going to be throwing out who I think these is. I saw Unirock 2's name out there, and I thought you guys were responding that Unirock was extremely emotional or frequently shifting intense emotions. I'm like, really? How's Unirock that? I didn't realize you were responding to him. Yes, Kyle Lawyer says me. Okay.
These are all
Kyle's Lawyer is my favorite account of all time, just FYI.
All right, hopefully I won't be clipping anymore.
You're fine.
Puck is now here hanging out, so.
Right. Vigilant Christian Mario.
Ooh.
That's an interesting one. Trumping. Well, you can't answer Trump for all of these, okay? Come on. I mean, that's kind of a give me. Don't take the easy route, people. This is a show about critical thinking too.
Yeah, we're exercising your brains right now.
Yeah. G in Casey as a pair.
As a pair. Oh no. Oh no.
Quantum Eraser. I guess he is extremely emotional. All right, let's move on. We want to do number 4?
Yeah, number 4 is claiming to have experienced negative events that are highly implausible. Oakley is often triggered. Yep.
Claiming to experience negative events that are highly implausible. So this is more like people that just basically say that they've had things happen to them. It just sounds like complete bullshit, I guess.
Yeah, like essentially they've exaggerated. Because it's supposedly serious problems, they're exaggerating these situations to the point where it's like, I don't think I believe you.
GM Truth.
Katie Colson, Essence of Thought.
Yeah, the Katie and EOT sound pretty much spot on with this one. Let's see.
Katie.
I guess that's a give me. Okay. All right. Well, that didn't take much thought. A boring job, a mundane life. Okay, well, you know what? That's us. So we're just going to give that one to us. Number 6.
Making claims without sufficient evidence or lack of detail about supposedly serious events.
Oh, wait. Somebody did that this morning that I called out on Twitter.
Fool JK.
If anybody follows me on Twitter. Nobody's following me on Twitter. I went private. Now nobody follows me on Twitter. Actually, you know, it's funny. This is a true story. I've had more subs on Twitter since I went private than I did before.
Oh my God, Bill.
Yep.
Bill.
Wow.
Wow. Aussie Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of the above fit on that one. But what's your thing with Greta? Holy cow, people are just dogging on Greta.
Notice me, Chesh and Steve Senpai. Ooh woo. Hi, Fips.
Did we have a super chat?
Yeah, that was what I just read.
oh, notice me. Okay, Fips. Hi, Fips.
Hi, Fips. 7. A pattern of irrational behavior and reactions to everyday problems. Not to be confused with millennial humor, which is, I dropped my coffee and I want to die.
Yeah, a little bit of over emotional states for the most mundane things. You know? I had to wait 1 minute to get my coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
They do, too. I don't know what it is about millennials, but they think that everything, it's such an egregious slight to them, no matter what it is, how innocuous or mundane it is. They think that, this is a big thing. I need to tweet this out. I need to like make an issue of this. I had a friend of mine that I really respect, but even she was like pointing out on Facebook something the most trivial thing with a woman, and I'm like, this is kind of that you had to stand in line for like an extra 30 seconds because reasons. Okay.
Because reasons. I mean, I guess there could be reasons why that would be ridiculous.
I don't know. I think they're just very impatient.
War on Christmas people. Yes, the war on Christmas people.
No such thing. No such thing.
That shit kills me. Yeah. I can't. It's so funny. Did you notice, by the way, Steve is actually in the list of examples. Someone stole Steve's can of Coke from the break room fridge. Now he believes that someone at work is trying to destroy him.
I am paranoid as shit about that. I'm telling you, people steal my freaking food all the damn time at work. You know.
What do you mean? Somebody stole a show from Steve off of YouTube, and now he believes that everybody's out to get him.
That wasn't in a fridge, though, but yeah. No, that's a real thing, though, at work. People taking other people's food and stuff. But I you leave a little note on it, like I peed on this or something. I don't know. Go for it. I licked it. Yeah. Yeah, I want my can of Coke back now. It has caffeine in it, so.
Never gonna see that can of Coke again.
This is
every Karen ever. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's all of them. I think we got a pretty good list.
That's it. All right. I'm having a hard time reading some of these comments.
Which ones?
Never mind.
Okay.
Oh no, I can pull it up. I'm reading. I just realized I can actually pull up the actual pop out chat here because I've been trying to reading it on Streamlabs and it's very hard. So now I can actually.
Red Eye was gold on Friday. Yeah, it's on the Rum and Coke. Go watch it. It's fantastic.
Mendeza C says, this is why borderline personality disorder is so great. I don't care about anything. My house could be burning right now, and I don't care. My wife is shagging my brother in the room next to me. I don't care.
Fucking oof.
Love that. All right. All right, so that's our definition. So let's move on.
Now does everybody understand what drama is and perpetuating drama? And
yeah, because
are we over this now?
Anybody that says like we're perpetuating drama, I perpetuate drama, Chess perpetuates drama, just have them watch this video and get educated to what drama actually is. We respond to it. We make light of it. We like to be entertained. But we're not out to hurt anybody. We're not out to smear anybody. We're not out to be smear merchants. We're not out to defame or degrade or treat anybody harmful. People that are doing that kind of stuff, they are drama people. They're perpetuating drama. They're out to actually harm people. That's not what we do. I would never actually try to harm anybody. I hope people recognize drama versus something like this, where we're just making light of things and bringing the attention to the community of things.
Drama versus slander versus actual crime. Like, people have been going on about $60,000 that's still missing from Non Sequitur Show, and saying that talking about it or making light or jokes of it is perpetuating drama, when it's like, no, it's a joke and making light of something that is an actual crime. This is not. It's actually
a Class C felony, and we were looking into that as well. So,
if you recall, it was, unsubstantiated claims being made, or things that are like they're making a big deal out of something that is benign. $60,000 being stolen from fans is not benign.
Nope. Yeah, I think a lot of people miss that point. That's the big picture thing, is that $60,000 gone, and nobody can account for it. Nobody knows where it's at. I think that when they call that drama, I don't think they understand what that word means, right? Because the fans are upset, and they have every right to be upset. And I'm not riling them up. I'm calling people out. That I told the fans before, for the beginning, I was going to continue on this for them, and I'm going to keep my promise to them. So. Okay. There was one thing I was going to say. Just a matter. Okay, super chat.
Helios for 575 for $2 says it's not drama when it's real and not exaggerated.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head, and I think a lot of people don't understand the distinction by any stretch of the imagination, because people are like saying that I thrive on drama. I do not. I rather go back to the science and the philosophy, much rather. However, I like the caffeine corner and that. But there could be a lot of other stuff that happened in the community that are unrelated to drama that we could make this show about, and I would be happy to do so. But unfortunately, there are people that want to perpetuate drama.
The issue isn't resolved yet.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, this is not over.
If Steve keeps going on about this on Non Sequitur, once it's back and everything's been sorted, and it's like 3 months down the line and he's still having this kind of a conversation, then yes, absolutely, he's perpetuating drama.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. Absolutely.
That does not include making 95% jokes.
Oh, the jokes are staying in perpetuity. The jokes are here forever.
Perpetuity.
Yeah. Never going to lose the jokes.
What a meme. All right. So we've got some more general stuff going on.
Well, I got to do an announcement first.
Yes.
Okay, so my announcement was already announced. Big surprise. I'm leaving on vacation. There's a lot of things that goes into what actually a vacation is. For me, it's basically I'm getting off the fucking internet, and I'm leaving to LA, and I'm going to be taking out Sweet Heathen, as people know. But starting after this show today, I'm going to be incommunicado for the most part. I don't give a crap about Twitter. I'm not going to be responding much to my Facebook. If you have to get a hold of me, probably the best way is email. I might check my Twitter DMs, and of course, Cheshire and a few other people will be able to contact me. But for the most part, I'm not going to be responding to pretty much anything for at least a week, probably. But I will on Saturday and Sunday when I'm out in LA. We plan to have a lot of pictures. We will be talking to people. We might even stream if Sweet wants to. So I will keep people posted on that. But unless I do a later in the week stream just for the hell of it, I think Ozzy wanted to do something. I might do one other stream, but other than that, I'm going to be pretty well incommunicado. So people messaging me, if I don't get back to you, let them know this is why I'm not getting back to them. I don't need the internet for a week. I'm going to be doing. I got actual real life stuff that I actually got to go do.
Insidious Vids for $1.99 says you guys need to do a fast food rating. I think that would be fun.
Fast food rating?
Yeah, so we go get fast food, eat it, and then be like, "This is great." This is awful.
I'm so down for that. But first of all, I don't even eat that much fast food anymore. I used to survive on fast food when I was in retail, right? Because you have to get it quick and eat it quick and.
Yep.
but it's so bad for you between the salt, the fat, and the cholesterol. I had high cholesterol at one time. I had to be on statins to get my cholesterol levels down, and I also lost some weight. But I don't eat fast food because I just think it's very unhealthy. However, I got to tell you, I love Jack in the Box. Love Jack in the Box. They have, if you want to have some just greasy, nasty, good old food, it's Jack in the Box is the bomb, man.
I live in Canada. We don't have Jack in the Box where I am.
Oh my god, I had like their fries, something, these like nacho fries things. Oh my god, they're delicious. But occasionally, when I eat fast food, like maybe once or twice a month at most, I'll go to Jack in the Box. And
there you go.
Oh my god, their late night stuff, amazing. So,
promo
for Jack in the Box. Come sponsor me. Love you, Jack.
Yeah, really.
All right, go ahead.
Godless Scummer for £5. Money to buy Sweet Heathen a drink.
Oh, you're wait. He's just trying to get Sweet Heathen drunk at this point. I already got some money for her.
Do you think she would complain? I don't think she would. Rez for 50. Put this towards a good time on your date.
Thank you. We're gonna have fun. That's my promise to Sweet. She is flying out here. So.
I have my own when I get cravings meal that I eat, and unfortunately I haven't had access to it, so I've spent the past 2 days doing nothing but eating. I've just been like, I must consume everything because I'm a female and I get like that sometimes.
Yeah, no, we all do. I have a what are you sexist? I'm a male and I get like that sometimes.
Yeah,
I've been on eating binges.
I have a meal that I go and get when this happens, and I haven't done it, so I've been doing nothing but eating for 2 days, and the meal is a Big Mac combo with a large fry, a large drink, and a 10-piece chicken nugget with sweet and sour dipping sauce.
So that's about 1,000 milligrams of salt.
If you eat anything besides sweet and sour dipping sauce, you're a heathen, and I hate you.
I don't even. You know what? I can't. I hate to say it, but I like it dry mostly. I eat McNuggets dry.
Just the one fry, no, like the large fry order.
Yeah, there's literally 1,000 milligrams of salt in a Big Mac. I was right.
Usually, if I can, I instead of getting a large drink, I get the strawberry milkshake.
Can I give you a pro tip on the fries?
Yeah.
Ask for fries well done. 1, they make them fresh, and 2, they're better.
Oh.
Pro tip.
Okay.
Yeah, I like crispy fries because usually what they do is they'll put the fries in and they have a set time for it, but it's usually undercooked. I think they're not that great. They're good, but I tell you, ask for well done. They have to make a new batch for it, and they're so much better. So, live chat, if you guys go try this, let me know what you think. But that's a pro tip for McDonald's. I do like their fries.
Harvey's Poutine. Yeah, Harvey's Poutine's not bad. Actually, A&W is A&W is actually very good. They're like my go-to if I'm just going to go get fast food. This McDonald's meal is specifically like I'm craving and I don't want to spend 2 or 3 days just consuming everything in the house. So I get this one meal and it just shuts that whole thing down. A&W Poutine, very good, and they have they're one of the only ones that have a vegan option.
I want Poutine. I want to try it. I really do. I don't really go to McDonald's. I had a bad experience with McDonald's on last Veterans Day. I go out every Veterans Day, like this Veterans Day. My roommate and I go out. We do the all-you-can-eat stuff and wherever we go. And they basically didn't even know it was Veterans Day. They're supposed to give a free meal. They didn't know anything about it. And it's a franchise, and I get that. Which I was like, okay, I kind of do understand that, but they didn't even offer me a coffee or an ice cream or anything, right? And then they just kind of said, "What? We don't even know it's Veterans Day." I'm like, wow, you guys are really shit. I'm sorry. That's just, I took that kind of offense. I don't get offended very easily, and I probably shouldn't have been, but I mean,
it was off-putting.
It was a little off-putting. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. I guess I wasn't offended, but I was like, really? You don't even know it's Veterans Day? I mean, I was in retail business for 20 years. We know the holidays, right? I mean, you basically live and die by certain holidays in the retail. So, I don't know.
Helios 575 for $5. You want to talk cravings? When I'm on a caffeine kick, I drink 6+ cups of Greek coffee a day. Each cup is as strong as an espresso.
Dude,
Jesus.
I don't think I could handle that. I get wired pretty quickly, so.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a lot of caffeine, dude. You might want to check your heart rate.
Also, feline. Yeah, that looks delicious. I didn't do it.
All right, so
what are you talking about?
So, but by the way, if for some reason like Cheshire wants to do something during the middle of the week, I might offer her something like if she just wants to do a stream with somebody, and all the super chats go to her for that particular episode. She's welcome to stream to this channel. So she might continue to say, and the only reason I say that is, one, I know she likes to stream, and two, it's for the algorithm, right? Because I don't want to go a week without an algorithm. But if she decides to, that's fine. She might just do her own thing with her own, bring in somebody, whatever she wants, stream to it.
Just going to talk shit about Steve.
There you go. I'm cool with that. Anybody else does, why not? Yeah. You've been mean to me lately. Okay. All right. 2, general stuff. Oh, okay. Cheshire, we got general stuff.
We do have some general stuff. Where do we want to start with the general stuff? Do you want to start some of the comments from Friday?
Well, I was going to have the reading comments separate, but I don't really. I know what. Do we really have any general stuff? I think we kind of went over it already.
We kind of did.
Yeah, I think all the stuff we had for the general stuff we probably already gone over.
Godless Scummer for 2 says still a better food review than Tastecraft. Actually, you know what I should do while you're gone? I should cook something.
Oh, there you go.
I should live stream cooking breakfast.
Yeah, do you know that she actually cooks 2 people? I mean, she's multi-talented.
Oh, you know what I should do? That's what I'll do. Okay, pick a day, and I will live stream my entire day. You guys can just follow me around for the day.
How exciting would that be?
You see how boring my life is.
We'll get Bullinator to produce that. You have 1 viewer. You feel so bad.
Yeah, it'll be great.
No one cares.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, we might as well. Okay, under general stuff, we might as well just throw this out there. Things that have been recent, like in the last day or so. Other people are going to be addressing that. I'm not. I don't.
Oh
care.
My god. So, if I wasn't living with family right now. If I wasn't living with family right now and had a GoPro, I would absolutely just put a GoPro on Puck for the day.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, just him laying around doing nothing, hanging out in the backyard, digging holes.
But I will throw out this in the next 2 months. I know a lot of big channels are going to be doing some big videos, and I mean big channels, bigger than like even Mr. Atheist channels that are interested in this story. So we're going to be getting this out there. It's going to be taking until November probably, but I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I think when I get back from vacation, I'm going to be focusing more on the science, the philosophy, and the entertaining stuff. I'm going to be moving a lot of the other stuff to the Great Debate Community channel if we do talk about anything. But for the most part, I'm done with all that bullshit. I'm going to be focusing on other things. I leave it to the community. Don't worry, I'll be fighting for the community, but I'm going to be doing a lot of it behind the scenes.
A lot of it's going to have to take place beside the scenes because, perpetuating drama isn't really a thing.
I'm not even worried about that. It's just that I got more effective ways of doing things. So, but I'll keep people posted though.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of junk in the background.
All right, so reading of comments.
Yeah, we were going to take a look at some of the comments from the rum and coke from Friday because the whole point of that was to get what the fans of Non Sequitur and what they had to say out there. And of course, not everybody can be there live to be able, and not everybody can come in. So there's a good number of comments that were left after the fact, and we're going to look through some of those because I think there are some really good points that were made. Some things were really cogent. Some of them are very long, so you might have to bear with us a little bit through them. But my God, you guys have a lot to say, and you should be heard.
Yeah. No, super chat.
Sandring for 5.
Hey, buddy.
I thought about live streaming my day driving. That would be incredibly boring, though. If you did it on Twitch, you would probably get people watching just because it's like just a relaxing thing that of just traveling, and then people would probably come. You'd be surprised. You might, and you'd never tell the internet what it's not going to like.
Yeah, it's weird. It's fickle. Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know.
So we're gonna start at the top.
Yeah, I mean, people watch crap like Smoking Nuns, so I don't know.
People are here.
Go ahead.
So Lynn Hart, I believe, is where we're going to start from. GE's content was always terrible, and I honestly hate GE for being such a scummy person. But Jimmy, I personally can't say whether his content is good or not. I've never watched it, but I liked Jimmy as a person. But after the things he has done, I can't morally support him. To see my thoughts on Jimmy, I posted a long comment reply to Sean. Also, diggy diggy hole.
Which one did you start? Where are you starting here?
I'm starting at the top.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
My last comment to Mr. Atheist was to send him Steve's letter, ask him to answer it. Also about running the gauntlet of paintball guns. Are you aware that the British Army uses these in training, but theirs hit with a lot more force?
Yeah,
I wonder if they use frozen ones.
I've never done paintball, but I've heard they can leave a pretty decent sized welt, and I could imagine a frozen one. Oh, that would kill you.
Particularly paintballs, if they don't explode, will absolutely leave welts. And the thing is like there's a limit for how much PSI you can use.
Right.
So they check all the tanks, right? So I would assume that what they do is they turn the PSI up on the tanks.
Which for a sniper, I heard is like considered to be poor sportsmanship.
Well, yeah, you get disqualified. Like you get kicked out if you overturn on your thing. There's lots of rules to paintball, which isn't a bad thing.
Stephen Curtis says, "Hi, Reds."
Hi, Reds.
Wait, that on one of my videos. I think that's,
yeah.
Okay.
I was very disappointed. Quote, I was very disappointed with Jimmy. End quote. I feel that every time I get a Mr. Atheist video in my recommendations.
Oh, just gonna be liking these as we go. Yeah, like I said, I've given him every opportunity to come clean on this. I've given every opportunity to get out from under it. I wrote a letter specifically to him and to other content creators, which, by the way, nobody took me up on. Nobody. Here's the thing. I already knew that this was an open shut case. There was from the beginning. I knew there was open and shut. So I was giving them, I thought, an ample opportunity to get out from under this, and they spat on me. So I think everybody should be disappointed with Jimmy. Now, somebody had asked me how much effect are you really going to have on Jimmy? Probably none. And I'm not trying to. I'm not. I don't care if he loses a single sub over. That's not my goal. I don't give a shit. What my goal is to get the truth out, and I want people to know what kind of person Jimmy really is, that I do believe very strongly he actively covered up all of this, and he was actively a part of it.
Michael, the Canadian Atheist, for 2. Hola, peeps. Hoi. Good to see you. Yes, we're making fun of Kyle and his gay fam because we think Steve is a fucking god. Doesn't have anything to do with Kyle having a gaggle of stupid YouTube buddies who have done so much crap worth making fun of. Narcissists are the ones who tend to think of their fan base and haters one-dimensionally, no?
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I saw that firsthand. I mean, if you ask even like Bullinator, the way... I don't want to even say his name at this point, but if you look at the way fans were treated by other people on the Non Sequitur show, it was I could just see it being pretty vile. I mean, even as Sandrine came in the other day on this video, and he talked about how he was treated. This pisses me off. This made me very upset and disappointed because a lot of this I didn't even know about, and so I take fans very, very seriously. Every Patreon I talk to, everyone I think. I communicate with them all day long on Facebook, Twitter, email. I always, almost always get back to somebody unless things come up. But I'm very communicative. Communicative. Was that the word? Communicative? Yeah, in communication.
You're fine.
with my fans. And there's a reason for that because I value them, and I don't think they were valued as much as they should have been by other people on that channel. So.
Exploratory Minds Project for 2 says, congrats on exposing the foolish opposition. Well, I mean, Steve actively tried to assist these people to not be opposition, to have conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Bite the hand.
Yeah, I mean, I was willing to have conversations with Jimmy at one time. He never would.
I vote Cheshire in the blue suits, then trying the elbow trick.
By the way, if you want evidence that Jimmy was actively involved, just go read the Twitter lines. We've already laid it out. Go read my Facebook. I have actually a whole thing that I wrote about my evidence against him. It's on my Facebook if you go find it.
I will say though, I can't wait until Non Sequitur is yours again, so I can go back and rewatch some of the old episodes. It was great while it was still going on track. At least I missed non sequitur. And loved everyone on the show until Jimmy showed up with his annoying fake voice and that inoculant kill. Or I'm saying this word wrong. What is that?
Where are we at?
Jet guitars.
Jet guitars. Oh, annoying fake voice.
I've never seen.
I think it's supposed to be. I think it's maybe pronunciation. Enunciation.
Oh, that enunciation. Oh, I've never seen the word enunciation written. That's
enunciation.
Bizarre.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at my. I'm trying to look with my context too, and it's still pretty hard for me to read. But yeah, it's enunciation. You enunciate.
We're intellectuals, all right. I don't know what you're talking about. That enunciation killed my ears and killed the show with it as well. But I won't watch a single bit of it until you get the show back, so the views spike and you get the money.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how anybody can't hold them responsible. I really don't. They were actively on the channel after I had issued a demand letter and a pre-litigation hold. They without
the thing
excuse.
Is that you had that demand letter, and then Caitlin was actively deleting comments, which goes against the demand letter.
Yep.
I feel so mixed on this because I think Steve is currently in the right, in particular after winning the case. Personally, in my opinion, this is where Steve and the crew should be watchful of the fans. Asking questions is fine, however, it is important to be watchful of the segment who are trying to use Steve's responses, while valid, as an excuse to try and troll or harass. We can roast Jimmy, GE, and KC for years to come, however, it needs to be done in a tactful way.
I don't disagree with him.
Yeah.
There are people out there that are going to be using. They use anything I say. They use. It's just the way it is. This is what trolls do. But what the trolls don't realize is they propelled me into the stratosphere. Much better than what I was before. I only had like 2,000 subs at one time for the longest time. So they're actually adding to the fact that they're validating everything I've ever said. They're proving to people that everything I've said about the trolls is true. Even though there's many other people in the community that can vouch for this, but they're right. I mean, we have to be responsible on, when we accuse Jimmy, GE, and Casey and all this stuff, because there are people that will try to make drama out of it. But
there's no point in slandering them. There's no point in going after them.
I've never said anything
that's
slanderous. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
There's no point in going after them for anything that is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like if you don't like Godless Engineer's hair, there's no reason to really go after him for his hair as a reason for anything.
I've never insulted their weights. I've never insulted their looks. Well, maybe once I think I maybe did looks, but I mean,
I'm pretty sure everybody's made fun of Kyle's hair at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go after those superficial things. Matter of fact, the troll group that's out there and about that I left a long time ago, they actually used to really go after people's looks, like even like Rocket Ronnie, to empiricism, and I thought that offensive. I was never, obviously a Ronnie fan, but I was like, why don't you just attack him on the arguments? Why are you going after? I mean, first of all, he has great hair, but I mean, I think it's kind of pathetic to be, talking about his work and where he lives and his hair, and just be treating him that in that regard. I'm like, that's not how you address the issues. I don't go after people personally.
Helios for $5.75 US. Can confirm Steve thanked me within an hour that I became a patron. Unlike rude Cheshire, JK, we love you, Cheshire. I can't be mad at you.
Oh,
I'm really sorry. I know there's been like a good number of people have added me on Patreon, and I really appreciate. But there's been so much going on that I have not even really looked at it yet. So you're correct. I absolutely need to get better and catch up, and I take the criticism. You're right.
All right. And by the way, yes, I do. Like I said, I do keep in touch with all Patreons. They can message me anytime, and I will always try to get back to a Patreon like that if I can. If I don't get back to you, I am literally out somewhere or very busy. All right.
So there are a couple people who are in here saying, yeah, no, I absolutely did this. So I made sure to downvote all of his videos and call him a thief, among other things. I consider myself a seasoned warrior in the troll army. Locktar, Steve. Me too. Usually targeting the incessant misfit mouth runners like RJ and Lost Hero.
Yeah, Locktar. Which, by the way, I guarantee it, not a single person has ever said, oh, well, Steve asked me to go leave a comment or troll or downvote videos. I've never asked
These people
anybody
are
to do that.
doing it to them. They're doing it themselves.
But they keep on. But they think for some reason I'm ordering people to do this, or I'm telling people to do this. I've never told anybody to do this. Where's the evidence for this? Oh wait, you know that word evidence that people always pride themselves on. It's weird how people always ask, you know, like theists and flat earthers and young earth creationists for evidence, which is fine. But when it comes to themselves, they just put that on hold. It no longer applies to them, it seems.
So then we get back to one of Lynn's comments that was referenced earlier. The big problem I have with Kyle's supporters, or I guess ex-supporters now, is that they gave him the benefit of the doubt, but that's not what they did. They blindly believed him and didn't make any effort to check out what Kyle was saying. In fact, they actively tried to hide information under the guise of trolling. They keep saying that they are being harassed, but the majority is just criticism of the way they're acting, and their statements reflect that in the way they are worded. They didn't admit they blindly believed Kyle, and they didn't take time to do a quick Google search into what the actual fucking law is. The information was everywhere in the Non Sequitur Show comment section, and they didn't look into any of it, because if they had, they wouldn't have gotten this far. So bullshit they gave Kyle the benefit of the doubt. They plugged their ears, closed their eyes while yelling, la 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 la, I can't hear you, you're all trolls and harassers. I don't think it's moral to have that much trust in a person that you ignore mountains of evidence pointing them out to be a liar, and even helped him cover up some of it in some cases. And I think they do need to apologize for the bullshit fraud statement they went along with, because they didn't take 5 minutes to Google this shit. I know for a fact that Steve didn't commit fraud because, unlike Kyle, Steve actually answers questions when asked nicely. Kyle's actions alone were red flags they should have seen. All the comments being deleted and the refusal to show any information and the blatant lies, either from dishonesty or ignorance, being blindly faithful to Kyle and believing everything he says isn't benefit of the doubt. It's just wrong, and they should apologize for supporting that and adding to such a horrible situation.
Yeah, I don't think I could give you a better comment on this. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to pin that one.
Spitfire. That's accurate.
Yeah,
My God.
I'm going to pin that one. We're going to go. Even I had one pinned before, but I think that one takes the cake. That was I can't even add to that. Everything in there is perfect. You know.
Yeah, some of these get long. Skyman. This is crazy. They all have seen the video where Kyle talked with Steve, and the video he made after that. It was clear that he lied because he did it straight away. That those scumbags now say they didn't know that he lied is just crazy. It was clear from day one who was lying. What Mr. fucking Atheist did is just crazy. I never did something other than asking what was going on in the chat. My message was straight away deleted, and after that I mailed Mr. Scumbag Atheist about it. He never replied, and now he says that I and many others are trolls. I unsubbed because he, GE, and other scumbags were deleting messages, blocking people, and trash talking about Steve. The real trolls are those scumbags, GE and Mr. Scumbag Atheist. And no, GE is not, I repeat, not an engineer. He is lying about that.
And by the way, I didn't pay this guy to say any of this, so this is real people saying real things.
They all knew. It's still going. They all
more.
knew that.
And there's more.
And there's more. They all knew that Kyle was lying, and now they think that they can play the fucking victim. They actively helped Kyle with working Steve out and trying to make him look bad. They failed, and now throw Kyle under the bus. No, I don't feel sorry for Kyle, but it shows that GE, KC, and Mr. A Scumbag Atheist, damn, he's mad at Jimmy.
I think he is.
Don't give a fuck about others and only care about themselves. That Mr. Scumbag Atheist called everyone a troll is just insane. This fucking... Can I say? No, I think we'll get demonetized if I say that.
We're already demonetized. All
right. I'll be true to the fans.
Yeah, this is their comment. I don't care about the monetization. This is far more important.
This is asking you guys what you thought, and I want to be honest to what you guys are saying. This fucking retard points fingers where he is the scumbag, and he is the scumbag that helped Kyle with everything against Steve, and not the other way around. I didn't do anything against that scumbag, but that is over. He attacked me and all of the other people that supported Steve in one way or another. It doesn't matter in how they supported Steve. Everyone, according to Mr. Scumbag Atheist, trolling him. This scumbag can get what he wants, and he will not like it. I am done with him. I am
No,
fucking
I'm
pissed.
not done with him.
I'm not done with him, sorry. I am fucking pissed, and this was the second time I heard that tweet of Mr. Scumbag Atheist, and it only makes me more angry. Congrats, Steve. I hope that you get your channel back soon, so we get good content instead of the crap with those retarded co-hosts.
That's pretty scathing, to say the least. And by the way, Skyman, I'm not sure if I know you. The name doesn't sound familiar, so I apologize. But yeah, that's pretty spot on. By the way, Lynn Hart is actually in the live chat, so thank you, Lynn. Hi, Lynn. So she says oh, my comment got read. Cool. So not only did we read it, we pinned it. But yeah, I mean, he's right. I mean, except for the pejoratives, I mean, it's like everything is just perfectly spot on with this. I've been saying Jimmy was active in this. Other people are recognizing Jimmy's active in this. When people are trying to defend him, I don't think I would say almost all of them, they have no idea what's going on. They're trying to defend him blindly. You ask them like, well, what about the money? They're like, what money? Kind of thing. It's like they have no idea what the hell's going on. Oh, wait. Well, if Jimmy was not an active participant, why was he streaming to the channel that had a cease and or a demand letter and a pre-litigation hold? Technically, it wasn't a cease and desist. It was asking for a cease and desist. It wasn't an order by the court. But still, he knew about these things, and he still spat in my face on it when knowing full well that I was 50%. He actually said in his little blurb something to do with the fact that he did not know that Kyle didn't have permission to remove me. He was told that he could remove me. That's an outright lie, Jimmy. You are outright lying to your fans. You knew damn well from the day one that Kyle and I own that 50-50. Matter of fact, I've got all the emails to verify that it is the case. Even Kyle admitted to that. You know that's bullshit. You are absolutely lying to your fans, Jimmy. Straight up lying. It's not even a matter of benefit of the doubt. You are lying.
Gio wrote us a dissertation.
By the way, guess what, Cheshire? He's lying.
Who?
Jimmy.
Who? Jimmy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who dis?
Shocker, right? I just gotta get that out there. This is not slander or libel. This is straight up, you're lying.
That's not, yeah. Yes. That is not slander, that is an accusation. And that is an accusation that has been backed up at this point.
Tremendously so.
Gio. All right, so I'm writing and editing this comment as I'm watching the live stream, so prepare for a lengthy one. One, regarding Jimmy's letter. Quote, I suspect, had Kyle actually fought the case, he would have lost that too. Though ironically, had he fought it, I doubt he would have been on the line for much. End quote. This to me shows.
Oh, go ahead. Finish that part, and then hang on. Yeah, go ahead.
This to me shows that he likely had doubts about Kyle's honesty before the court ruled in Steve's favors. Not acting on this doubt makes him guilty.
All right, let's take these one by one because he's actually enumerated them.
Yep, that is one.
Sure. So, what does he mean by not on a line for much? They're trying to downplay how much money this channel made. Now, they're downplaying the consequences. So therefore, they're trying to downplay. They're trying. So remember when we talked earlier about what drama is, and when it's not really a big deal. You're making a bigger deal out of something that's benign. Mm-hmm. By downplaying the amount, they're trying to make it seem like it's a benign accusation or a benign issue that's going on when it's $60,000 minimum. Let's get to that number real quick so people have it again. I again never saw the books, and by the way, this running narrative that looking at the analytics through YouTube is the books is the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life. Books are called a profit and loss report. When your P&L report, it itemizes from like QuickBooks and everything else, all your expenses, like for when we're paying for the podcast stuff, when we're paying for Bullinator's stuff. I had expenses that I paid for Bullinator, although a lot of it was out of pocket. But other stuff, some of it got reimbursed for, some of it didn't. But all the stuff that we had paid for the advertising, we advertised on Facebook and things of that nature, that all goes in a P&L report. Anybody who's ever done accounting or business knows what a profit and loss report is. That's the books, okay? All the accounting from this. Looking at Google Analytics and YouTube is not the books, okay? Now, anybody who thinks that has got to be completely inept when it comes to accounting. But the last thing I saw from the YouTube Analytics when I had access to that channel, and Bullinator can verify this, was about $48,000, give or take. that channel made just from Google Analytics. So we're going to round that to about 50 because again, it went to a few more months. So let's say $50,000 right there. Half of that is 25, right? Patreon was pulling in about $2,000 a month, give or take. The last time I saw it before he changed my password, it was around $900, give or take. And that was about 6-7 months prior. So I mean, we doubled or tripled our Patreon. So I'm going to say that 2,000 is probably a decent amount, anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 for, let's say, 10 months. So we're just going to round that to $10,000. So 50,000 plus 10,000 is $60,000. That's not including Teespring. That's not including Streamlabs. That's not including PayPal or anything like that. So I think 60,000 is a very conservative estimate. Now, half of that is 30. We sued him and won for treble damages. Okay. Now we haven't gotten any monetization or monetary value from it. We have to petition the court for that. The way that works is we have an order of judgment. We won the court, but we haven't won any money yet. We've won some other things that we itemized for remedy, but we haven't won the money. What we do is we say, this is the amount we're asking for. If Kai wants to fight that, then he has to show the books to say, well, this is absurd amount. Here's the books and here's why. If he doesn't show the books,
my face on a mug.
If he doesn't show the books, we can ask for anything we want basically and justify it with the judge, and go from there. And I think that's, asking for 100,000 is not unreasonable after you add court costs, right? The 30,000 times 3 is, because if you don't show the books to somebody in when they ask for them within I think it's 24 hours by the law, that's a business partner. If you hide the books, that's considered to be egregious enough to be sued for treble damages. Plus, it's a Class C felony. So we sued for 3 times the amount. So 30,000, which is minimum, times 3 is 90, plus 10 for court costs and legal fees and other things. That's about $100,000. So what I'm asking for is not unreasonable. And by the way, there is no remedy for this. Once you have an order of injunction, he cannot appeal. There's no appeal process for this. This is not civil court. This is superior court. There's no appeal process. There is something to vacate if you have an emergency. Right? And that's about the only thing that I think is even possible is you had an emergency if you were in the hospital, because judges do not like to vacate default judgments. So
hey, you want a really good example
he's
of
done.
Drama?
There's no appeal to this.
You want a really good example of drama real quick? Not addressing the problem, but perpetuating, not addressing an issue, but perpetuating a problem. $400 suits.
Yeah, when you have
oh my god!
When you have to switch the narrative from between missing 60,000 to I thought my suit was $12, $400 and it's actually 12. That tells you the mindset, the irrational thinking, because he's trying to deflect from the fact that $60,000 or more is missing, right? So I've justified this. I've explained it. It's all out there. But anyways, that's for that. So I don't know when Jimmy says, I doubt me be on the line for much. I'm sorry, Jimmy, but $30,000 is a lot of goddamn money. Now, you might not think so because you're making pretty good bank. I saw your Patreon. You're getting 540 patrons or something like that, although you lost 40. But, and you make a lot of money from the YouTube channel. So I'm guessing you probably pull in $5,000 to $10,000 a month, easy. And you're doing okay. God bless you. But, for me, that struggled for being on YouTube for 6-7 years, that had a Patreon of about $200 for the longest time, and is making about $150, $200 off YouTube when I survived literally off about $400 a month. $30,000 is a lot of goddamn money, Jimmy, so fuck you.
Yeah.
By the way, now we're demonetized.
Hold on. Is there a way to do the books yourself once you got access to all of the relevant accounts?
No, because I don't know the expenses.
No, I don't think so.
The problem is he controlled all the expenses for the. I know we did things like spending money on advertisement for like Facebook. We tried different things. I know he bought some equipment that would be going to the assets. I don't have any of that accounting information. Right? I asked for the longest time. I need the P&L report. I even told him just put it on the even for Bullinator stuff. He said, "Do you want me to reimburse you for this?" I'm like, "Yeah, just put it on the P&L." Right? I have the emails for this. And I don't think he knows what a P&L is. I really just don't. Because if he thinks that the books are the analytics, something's seriously wrong.
So the second half of number 1 here was, quote, "I'm not apologizing to Steve for for being incorrect to trust Kyle," end quote. Gio says, "In my opinion, If this doesn't warrant an apology towards Steve, it should at least warrant one to the fans. Trust is earned, not given.
Especially because he streamed to the channel.
Yep. Number 2, regarding GE and Casey's letter. Quote, from the beginning of this, we have both maintained that Kyle made mistakes and that Kyle did some things wrong and that Steve deserved to be paid for his work on Non Sequitur Show. We were told he would be paid, end quote. Multiple things about this. A, if both acknowledge that Kyle made mistakes, why is there no record of them calling him out for it publicly? Were they actively looking away, trying to ignore it in order not to worsen their relation with Kyle? B, did they think that Kyle would pay Steve in perpetuity, which Kyle agreed to, and confirmed to that agreement again during the hangout with Steve and Reds? If so...
Uh-oh. Chat, we lost Chet, so I'll continue here. She's trying to get back on the call here. One sec. Josh! Alright, I'll continue. Wait, are you back? No. If they thought that Steve would not be paid in any future revenue... Oh, there she is. There he is. He's back.
Hello?
Yeah, you
did I go out?
You got it. Yeah, you lost it.
Where was I?
If so, why did they ignore Kyle's repeated statements?
Oh, okay, yep. Why did they ignore Kyle's repeated statements that it wouldn't be in perpetuity anymore? If they thought that Steve would not be paid for future revenue, then they were actively supporting Kyle in breaching the contract that he had with Steve. Either position is not defensible. C, what about Bullinator?
Yeah, there's no defensible position. Just none.
Quote, all we are guilty of is trusting our friend.
Bullshit.
They trusted their friend against multiple pieces of evidence that contradicted Kyle. Them not trying to clarify the situation makes them guilty of screwing over Steve. They enabled Kyle to continue with his show with guests, and in my opinion, they owe an apology to both Steve and the fans of Non Sequitur Show who donated money thinking that some of it would go to Steve. I think all of them, Jimmy, Casey, and GE, owe both Steve and the Non Sequitur Show fans an apology. Here's one that would be acceptable. Look, he even wrote it for them. What a sweetheart. Gio, you're adorable.
Gio's awesome.
We are sorry that we took part in the continuing to run the Non Sequitur Show channel, despite of doubts we had regarding Kyle's honesty and against evidence that was brought forward by both Steve and the fans of Non Sequitur Show. We're sorry we continued participating in videos while a cease and desist letter was brought forward by Steve. We apologize for making unfounded allegations against Steve, implying him defrauding the U.S. government for taxes and for Medicare costs. We are sorry that we helped to defraud the viewers of tens of thousands of dollars of money that was given in order to fund Steve and Bullinator. We finally have to apologize to Steve and Bullinator by helping Kyle to run the channel, delete comments, block people who brought up legitimate concern. If there is any way in which we can help undoing the damage that has been done by any of the affected parties, let us know, and we will do anything to help repair the damages to Steve, Bull, and the channel itself, and the fan base that we have wronged. That would have been amazing.
Wow, that would have been really good. By the way,
that would have been amazing.
Yeah, where are we at on here? Yeah, no, that was really good, actually. I'm going to heart that in a second. I want to show something to somebody. I don't usually do this, but now that I've actually won the case, it really doesn't matter. I'm actually going to show people some legal stuff because, unlike other people, I actually checked on the law. The legal things that we sued under was North Carolina general statutes. This is why we're able to ask for treble damages. This statute for 14.97 reads very clearly, any persons... I'm
going to pee while you're doing that.
Yeah, any person...
I drank 2 cups of tea
any person engaged in a partnership business in the state of North Carolina who shall, without the knowledge or and consent of his co-partner and pro-partners, take funds belonging to the partnership business and appropriate that same to his own personal use with the fraudulent intent of depriving his co-partners of the use thereof, shall be guilty of a felony. Appropriation of partnership funds with the value of $100,000 or more by partner is a Class C felony. Appropriation of partnership funds with the value of less than $100,000 is a Class H felony. So when people are telling me that I'm just making shit up, you can go fuck yourself and be banned from my hangout. Goodbye. So mods, please remove whoever's like questioning that shit. I don't deal with that any longer. Everything I've said has been backed up by evidence and truth. When I get back from vacation, I'm not going to put up with any of this bullshit any longer. You want questions answered? You do it to me in private. Send me a DM or ask Chess or ask Reds or somebody else. I'm not playing your fucking games any longer. I've been transparent from day one. Here you go. This is the North Carolina State statute. Fuck off. There you go. I mean, what do these people want? I mean, everything I've said is completely honest and true. I don't bluff. I never have bluffed. I've been straight up and straight shooter from day one. So, by the way, what's that? We're getting into definitions, but you know what? This is a pretty simple one. What's that called when I actually show something to be transparent? Oh, I think the word starts with an E, ends in evidence. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh man.
Now, I'm not saying that he committed that. I'm just saying that is potential that we might be able to go after him on. We're working on that. So to say that there's not even a potential for that is completely, or there's no basis for that, that's what I'm saying is complete bullshit. Because the fact that this wasn't complex business court, because it was established there was a partnership, it was established that he committed fraudulent conversion, that applies to that statute. By the way, all those things for fraudulent conversion, unjust enrichment, breach of fiduciary duty, breach of contract, we have all the statutes for that. I've read them all. And also, these things are not dischargeable on a bankruptcy. Breach of fiduciary duty and fraud are not dischargeable debts under a Chapter 11, 7, or 13 discharge. You cannot get out from under that. So the people that are trying to like play legal law, you guys are idiots. Every one of you got shit wrong. Now, I'm not playing lawyer. I'm just telling you what my lawyer says, by the way, who's a real fucking lawyer.
You mean the lawyer that you have paperwork
the
for?
One I actually, the one I actually have evidence for, the one I've actually got emails for, and you know all the paperwork that I put in a file called the non sequitur show file. That I have all the documentations that nobody else filed any paperwork. By the way, no other paperwork's been filed on this. There's been no response. A response supposedly was filed. It wasn't. A PO was filed. It wasn't. Nothing has been filed other than what I filed. Nothing.
Somebody is asking, is this now a Class C or Class H? Since
that's the problem. We don't know. It could be it could be one of either, depending on how much the adjustment we get. I think 100,000 is the minimum, but if we could push it over that line, because we might actually try to go for $25,000 a count. I don't know. I still have to get back to the lawyer on the monetary. He was going to get back to me today on this, but it could be over $100,000. It could be an Class H felony. Yeah. Now I was going to probably offer something along the lines, because if we negotiate, because if somebody was smart, you know, they would actually get a hold of my lawyer and try to negotiate something, but they're not smart. But they would say, if you don't press criminal charges, I'll give you back the channel right now. I might be willing to consider something like that, because I'm not interested.
Yeah, it's not that you're not uninterested in negotiation, right?
Right. Yeah, my goal is not to be retaliatory. My goal is to have remedy. And if I can get the channel back without having to do the hassle of going through YouTube, which is doable.
Well, Kyle, or anybody who talks to Kyle is listening.
Yeah.
Negotiations are, the table still exists. I mean, I know you've tried
this is not
to
a threat, though. People
fire, but it's still there.
But see, the trolls are going to be taking this. This is what somebody else mentioned. You got to be careful what you say, because the trolls are going to say this. Well, Steve's threatening to press criminal charges if he doesn't get the channel back. That's not a threat. I'm just saying that I'm willing to not press charges criminally if he negotiates with the lawyer.
Yeah, you're offering negotiations and communication. You're at the negotiating table waiting for somebody to show up.
Yeah, but I just wanted to point that out there, that I have all the legal stuff. I have all the statutes. I've read them all.
Kyle's lawyer says he's been trying. Doing your best, sir.
I'm so happy that Kyle's lawyer graduated at the bottom of his class.
Jesus, they're all backpedaling so fast they might as well be leaving Looney Tunes smoke silhouettes behind.
Ooh.
I like that one. Personal grievance. GE and KC helped Kyle to destroy something unique. Non-sec was, as one blogger noted, lightning in a bottle. Non Sequitur was the channel where we could watch high-profile science educators, internet cranks, religious apologists, pseudoscientists, occultists, LGBTQ activists, skeptics, incels, conspiracy theorists, PhDs in various academic disciplines, and a large and colorful array of other guests engaging in entertaining debates and discussions. Now that's gone. Grievance on behalf of Steve and the Patreons. GE and KC aided Kyle in absconding with tens of thousands of dollars in Patreon and Super Chat funds, fucking over Steve and everyone who donated. GE, KC, promulgated.
What?
Promulgated?
Promulgated.
There's an L in there.
Promulgated.
You're lying to me.
No, promulgated is basically perpetuated. Put forth.
There's no L in that, what you said?
No, promulgated. Is that how you spell it? Yeah, that's how you spell it. Promulgated. Yeah.
I'm learning so many new words.
She's Canadian. She doesn't speak English.
Lies against Steve, claiming that Steve is a tax and VA fraud. Fuck them. Fuck Jimmy, too, for attempting to prop up the show after Kyle stole it from Steve. P.S. No, Jimmy, we're not a troll army. We're pissed because Kyle lied and stole, and you helped him. Fuck you.
Yeah, by the way, like I said, I'm not the only one that notices that Jimmy actively was involved in this. It's not just me. And the troll army stuff. By the way, we're going to run with that. I'm just taking you. I'm stealing that.
Promulgated.
No, not lated. Oh my God. Now you got me doing it. Promulgated. Yeah, promulgated. Oh, man. To promulgate. Yeah.
We're probably promulgating this word wrong.
Yeah, English, very difficult. But yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. Are we a goblin army or troll army, a horde army, Loktar? I don't know. This is
Smob. Hashtag Smob.
Yeah, we got to come up with some like names on this because I was going to call
divisions.
you. Yeah, I was going to call you guys what?
Promulated.
I was going to call you guys smuggers. You know, but yeah, smuggers. Smug. I think it's brilliant. These guys write this shit for me. I think it's great. I appreciate it.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Yeah. This whole thing is proof that just because people are atheists doesn't mean they are good thinkers in general or good people. Yeah, you're giving everybody a bad name.
Wait. I will take credit for this. How many years have I been saying this? That just because you lack a belief in God doesn't make you a critical thinker, I assure you.
Non sequitur is where all minds from all angles could meet, debate, discuss, critique, and agree/disagree, and could inform outside audiences. Now that's been ruined by Kyle and his crew.
Which one's that one? Where was it? Where were we at?
That was in the live chat.
Oh, okay. By the way, because you missed this one.
Which one?
Sorry to point out this, Steve, but in the video description you missed. Yeah, you spelled hot wrong because I spelled you're the host, right? But I think he was trying to flirt with you.
Hot.
Yeah, he thinks you're hot. You'd be scorch. You'd be like hot coffee. You'd be like a hot white mocha.
Oh. Mr. Manbun accuses Steve of sending his troll army, which Steve never did. Now that is total projection. Mr. Manbun sent his followers to troll a particular preacher in his church. How dare he criticizing for doing what he does himself? That is a double standard. Fuck you, Mr. Atheist.
I can tell you right now, there's a video coming out or a stream coming out that's going to be accusing him of the exact same thing.
Yeah, I didn't actually
in November.
I didn't participate in the pumpkin thing because I was like, this isn't like I appreciate that you guys want to stop this hate speech from spreading, but I don't think I agree with the way you guys are going about it.
But it's hypocrisy. Either way, whether you agree with what he did or not, I'm not going to weigh in on that. But I will say it's hypocrisy. But somebody who contacted me who has a bigher channel than Jimmy does pointed this out and was pissed about this. They were like, this is hypocrisy. And they're doing a video on it. I also got some other people doing videos on this. So it's gonna blow up pretty big. And this is why I even told Jimmy, get out from under it while you can, because when all this comes out, there's bigger channels than yours out there that are going to be making videos on this, and they're going to be calling you out.
You're making it worse. I didn't follow the portion where Steve says that Tastecraft website was taken down because they were getting ready to defraud other people with it or something like that. Not
website. The Twitter.
The channel.
Well, the channel's no. It was Casey had a Twitter at Casey at Tastecraft on her Twitter. She removed that after I put it on my Facebook. Like that, she just removed that.
The truth shall shine through. Good on you, Steve. Fuck you, Kyle, GE, and Casey. At least dumbass Tom Jump came out with his lame-ass excuse before the case went to court. Well, that's just Kyle being Kyle.
I gotta tell you, that's gonna live in perpetuity. That is one of my favorite lines out of all this. Well, that's just Kyle being Kyle.
Make a list of in perpetuity jokes and post it somewhere.
Yeah, that's just T Jumpy and T Jump. Oh, he blocked me, by the way, finally.
It takes character and humbleness to apologize when you are wrong. These people are sadly lacking in both. I'm really sorry I left comments on the Non Sequitur show that said mean things about the vastly diminished quality of the content. I can only imagine how hard things must be for them right now.
Yeah, I like that one. I don't know why, but yeah, I mean, it's, whatever. I mean, but it did. I liked it because probably because it was vastly diminished in comments. Quality. We saw the quality go down. I mean,
I didn't contribute that much. I didn't contribute that much. Only €10. I hope the part that was supposed to go to Steve and Boole gets to them eventually after the court takes care of this, even if it's not much. My biggest disappointment is the destruction of the show and Kyle's immoral behavior towards Boole and Steve. If all of this could be fixed for the cost of €10, I would gladly give up on it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Although you missed, you want to read Jason Melendez?
Oh, the Mr. Atheist is exactly right and justified.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
8 replies of this poor person just getting shit on.
I'll tell you what, you be the replies, I'll be me.
Oh, okay. How about you explain how you think you are right with assertion, or maybe you can't, and you're just talking shit.
And I asked the guy, would you care to expound upon that? As everybody here is pretty sick of assertions without facts and evidence, and I've been saying this. People are just making assertions. Everything that's been levied against me is an assertion from day one. I mean, people have no evidence of any of this crap, and people get called out on it and say, where's your evidence? Cheshire and I do this all the time with other trolls, with this other stuff going on. Okay, well, show us what you got. And they'll be like, oh, it's out there, blah, blah. And they'll show us BuzzFeed. They'll show us Reddit. They'll show us, I don't know. It's like, these are not primary sources kind of stuff.
I had one person I was discussing with yesterday or the day before because they were making claims that this person had lied. And then they showed a tweet where they said nobody called anybody's work. And they were saying this person's work was called. And I said, okay, but that's a different person. It sounds like in this case, it's not lying if they're talking about a situation where no one's work was called. But in this situation, someone's work was called. But if you're taking this and conflating it to mean they're talking about ever, then yeah, that would be a lie, but you're conflating that because that's not what they're saying here. So can you show me that this is the same thing that's being referred to?
Well, that's what they do.
No, they didn't know what the word conflated
means. They juxtapose things, they conflate things, they mix things together because this is what trolls do. They'll take bits and pieces and they'll put it together in a narrative that suits them.
Really, Helios? Are you trying to break my tongue? For $2, one must eschew obfuscation to convey misleadingness.
Close enough. Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah, I eschew you too. But I won't eschew my coffee. No.
He told you his opinion. I agreed with him. The fact that you can't accept criticism and always have to have the last word are just 2 reasons why I agree with him.
That's not evidence, and you're stating your opinion. And by the way, I accept criticism. I don't know where this narrative comes from. I don't accept criticism. Let me reiterate for the people that are in the back of the room or in the short bus. I accept criticism from people that are actual valid people that I respect that have actually something to criticize. Okay.
Yeah. The thing is that what does this mean? Okay. Mr. Atheist is exactly right and justified about what?
He hasn't said.
What are you talking about?
He never does.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, RDA Luthery, he said a lot of shit. How about you cough up the details and why you agree with his accusations and willingness to evaluate the situation and instead hanging with and supporting a crook, even though thousands of people were shouting it from the hilltops? How about ignoring people's valid concerns and blocking them instead of manning up? Let me guess, you're a moron. Yeah, that's it. I mean, there you go. Yeah. By the way, he has responded after that. Go figure. RDA Luthery, or I hope that I pronounced that right. I usually don't. But you're spot on. These people don't have any evidence for fuck all. They're just blindly supporting people on faith.
And listen, if your hate boner is going to be so big, at least don't wear track pants. All right, we don't all need to see it.
Yeah, I mean,
Milwaukee for $2 says, "I just miss Steve."
Oh, that's sweet. Aww. Yeah, I mean, look, if you got a hate boner for me, go for it, man. Stroke yourself off all goddamn day long. It's not affecting me in any way, shape, or form. Matter of fact, it's actually adding to me. I'm doing okay, so I appreciate it. But I do
encourage people to stroke out boners to me.
Yeah, she's all for it. So, I mean, I think that people know the truth, obviously, and people know that there's trolls out there and what they're doing and how they're manipulating things. It's okay at this point. They blew their load. That was it. Yeah, they got themselves off and realized that it was blue dust. So, okay.
Should I try and pronounce that name? The next one? It looks like it's almost supposed to be a spinoff. Oh, Chalupa? Chalupi. Chalupa.
Chalupish Lupa. Chalupish Lupa. We'll go with that.
I didn't contribute. Oh no, I already read that one. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. How about this guy, Wolf? This genius.
I can't believe what an asshole you are, Steve. Don't do that. Stop blaming the other parts of non-sec just for participating further with the show. There is no moral obligation not due to. Fuck. There is no fault on them. GE, Casey, and Mr. A haven't done anything wrong.
Anything wrong.
I don't like anybody of them. I especially GE never knows what fucking. Why is it always like this illiterate garbage?
I don't know.
I don't pull out that Gary tweet again. I especially GE never knows what he is talking about.
It's true.
But there is no fault. It's true. But there's no fault whatsoever on their part. Mr. A is right. You handled that totally wrong. Shame on you, Steve. You have a very bad character, Steve. You're the asshole in this game. View reply. Oh,
yeah,
God.
Yeah, no victim blaming there, right? Oh, let's go over these, if I may, by the way. Like I said, I accept valid criticism. This isn't valid criticism. This is just pure stupidity. Matter of fact, I thought this was so bad. I actually copied this and I think I tweeted it out, and I'm pretty sure
you did.
Yeah. I may have put it on my Facebook. I don't remember, but I was like, dude, you're just blind as fuck right now. But so let's go over the things that he said. Absolutely, he said haven't done anything wrong. Okay, nothing wrong. You could read these if you wish.
Res for 5 says, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I can answer that question. A woodchuck would chuck as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck wood. However, a woodchuck would chuck all the wood if a woodchuck was Chuck Norris.
Yeah, he would. I know this one. The tutor.
Falsely
wait. I gotta do mine. The tutor who tutored the flute tried to tutor two tutors to toot. The two tutors said to the tutor, is it harder to toot or to tutor two tutors to toot?
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
1, falsely accusing me of committing medical fraud. 2, falsely accusing me of committing tax evasion. 3, falsely accusing me of illegally recording a conversation. 4, stream to my channel against a demand letter and pre-litigation hold. 5, actively deleting comments asking legit questions by fans. 6, actively removed hundreds of fans from live streams for asking comments. 7, assisted in taking a channel worth $98,000 and devaluing it to next to nothing. 8, assisted in covering up the loss of $60,000 plus of missing fans' money.
And that's just off the top of my head.
Oh, toy boat.
Now, let me ask the audience here and the non sequitur show fans. Do you agree with this guy in any way that they haven't done anything wrong? I've enumerated 8 things just off the top of my head. I'm sure you guys come up with much more. Every one of these is a true statement. Every single one of these is a true statement. I can't see anybody saying how any of these was lies. 1, we have validation for that. Cheshire and Nick have all the evidence for 1, 2, and 3. Those are straight up they were wrong about. 4, that's clear because I have the demand letter and pre-litigation hold, and they still stream to it, so that's true. 5, they actively did comments asking legit questions by fans. How many comments and fans were removed by UKC? Yeah. Actively remove hundreds of fans from live streams, Casey, and I think G probably had a hand on that too. Assisting and taking the channel with $98,000 and devaluing it next to nothing. They drove the show into the ground because their content sucked. And assisting cover up a loss of $60,000 in missing fans' money. Jimmy definitely did that, and I think that they had some hands in it too. So, yeah, when
just look at the look at Jimmy's hidden tweets currently. That's active. Gio said to try Bismarck, Bis. Yeah. And then every noise, a noise, an oyster, but a noisy noise, a noise, an oyster most.
That's good too.
For £5, Godless Scummer. English is a hard language, but it can be understood through tough though through thought though.
Yeah. Well, he's foreign, so.
3 flea freeze felines. And Cameron Walker for 5 says Miss Piggy Wuggy has a square cut punt. Not a punt cut square, just a square cut punt. It's round in the stern and blunt in the front.
Look at, you know what? We should get all these together. We should do them on a rum of coke night drunk.
I do owe Vice Rhino a recording of Fox and Socks.
Yeah, that's pretty
Michael
good.
for $2 says they did all the wrong.
Yeah. And by the way, as people are mentioning in the live chat, all they did was ask Mr. Atheist or KC or GE about any of this, and everyone that's asked him has gotten a block. I think, like without question.
Yep.
In fact, I had who was it I was talking to? Excuse me, I don't remember.
Fun here.
I don't remember. I asked somebody. I said the reason why you don't want to ask them because you know you're going to be blocked. And they're like, no, that's not the case. I'm like, oh, really? Then you want the truth? Why don't you ask them?
I do believe that their response was, I'm going to ask my question, not yours.
That's
okay, then go ask your question then. You're asking me, so ask them the same question. It's your question either way.
Yep.
McRae's Militia could be a t-shirt. Yeah, we're working on it. I gotta have a couple designs that are, maybe we should let these guys vote on it. I'll design a couple and let the fans vote.
Yeah, we're going to come up with some Teespring stuff. Like I said, that's we're going to have a merch. I want to get the merch shelf, but we're going to be coming up with some things after my vacation.
Great show, Steve and Chesh. These people need to have their feet held to the fire for claiming to be skeptics but refusing to look at the evidence. What's worse is when they're shown to be wrong, they pull the victim card and claim they were just trying to be a good friend.
Yeah. Reed reads. That's the spot on.
Read for $2. I was removed from Non Sequitur Show while still being a Patreon.
Yeah, they didn't care. I'm telling you, they just didn't care. And then somebody will say, I know a troll, like I'm preempting stuff because I just know how trolls think. Well, Steve, you yelled at a Patreon. Yes, I did. I yelled at a Patreon who was using my Patreon to promote his garbage videos that I did not like and to harass my friends who harassed 2 of my very good friends. I don't care if you're a Patreon or not. You don't have the right to harass my friends.
Yeah, but
Never.
You also canceled their Patreon. You didn't leave it there.
No, I did not. I told he actually dropped it down to $5. But I was like, if you want to watch, if he wants to like watch the show and he wants to contribute and he wants to like have normal dialogue, I'm okay with that. I did cancel Agrippa's and I canceled Bill Lolo's though, because they came to my Patreon completely just to troll. So I canceled both their Patreons, but I didn't cancel the other guy's Patreon. He dropped it down to $5, which is nominal. But I was like, I'm not trying to alienate the guy, but I'm like, you're not going to buy me off to promote your channel that I think is really horrible and just not great content. And worse is you're actually going after my friends to get them to manipulate them because he did it for what's called a Frankenstein cut. He basically kind of did. He took things out of context. He did interviews, and I didn't like the way he did any of this stuff. And that's why I was like, don't think that you can buy me. Okay, this is not how it works here. So that's why I yelled at my Patreon, and I think I was justified to do so. If people disagree, that's fine. Let's call it, a disagreement. But I'm not going to be bought. It's just not going to happen.
Since I know GE and Mrs. GE are going to watch this to serve their victim complex, one tweet from a person does not constitute bullying or harassment.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Especially when they're out there putting themselves in the firing line, right? Casey has this weird need to put herself out there, say stupid shit, get called out for it, then backtrack, try to hide, and then have GE come in as a white knight, which was another definition we'll get into one in a future episode. That he'll defend her and say, "Don't harass my wife. Don't be harassing KC." It's like, you don't understand how any of this stuff works. If you're going to put yourself out there and take a position, and then when people call you out on it and you have to hide and have somebody else come in and defend you, there's a problem. Now, again, trolls will say, well, Steve, that's what you do. Well, that's not what I do. I've explained everything. I'm just not going to be explaining things a billion fucking times.
It's also very
I'm not
clear
a trained
when
monkey.
You've got one person who's willing to be communicative about what's going on, and everybody else is like, don't talk to me about it anymore.
Yeah, eventually you just move on. You're like, after I get back from vacation, anybody brings up the old drama with me, it's all out there, done. By the way, you're not going to get anything out of me out of it. It's just done. But people are like, well, look at Steve, he's avoiding stuff.
But we're talking about a situation that's still ongoing, right? So you've got you've got GE, you've got Casey.
Oh, this stuff, yeah. No, I'm talking about like the spin narratives that people were doing back when. I mean, I got idiots that are still bringing up drama from the GDC, like, oh, Steve stole the GDC and all that crap. That narrative doesn't fly anymore because people know the fucking truth, right? Why do I got to answer to any of that stuff? I mean, all they got to do is, I hate to keep like saying Bulinator or Reds, but go ask them. Go ask Mr. McCobb. They all know all this stuff. Don't bother me with it because that's dead news. Nobody ever stole the GDC. If you think otherwise, go look. I mean, you can see that I did all that. So whatever.
Oh, are you ready for Sean? Ooh. Since GE, Casey, and Jimmy are likely watching, I do have some words from them. You three purport yourselves as skeptics and critical thinkers. Your behavior as of late tells me otherwise. This is not a call for you to take the longest walk off of a short pier. This is a call for you three to start listening when something sounds rotten. The cracks were forming. Jimmy, the second you courted Kyle after he received the C&D letter. You should have known this was a bad move. It made you an accomplice in the worst case scenario and a complete dunce in the best case scenario. You should have known better. We're beyond apologies. What is required of you is to accept that you messed up, A, and make a solemn vow to never assume anything ever again without factual evidence at hand, B. These are simple demands, and ones I trust you are able to uphold. These demands would also do well for your image, which you happen to be vain about, right? GE and KC. You two don't get off as lightly as Jimmy does. Jimmy, I can hand wave away as a person who did something dumb without considering the consequences. You two, however, were neck deep in it. You know full well all the fraud smears were false, yet you perpetuated that narrative anyway. You two also took it personal that you were not called by your titles. Sorry, but there are strict legal definitions of an engineer you are not considering. That's splitting hairs, however. That is not the real meat of your crimes. You wrecked a whole Discord without using proper tools. You both banned normal people in the chat who wanted to have a question answered about things. Frankly, you both caused the major bleed off of the subs in the same proportion as Kyle did. Kyle may have hitched you, but that is by no means a carte blanche for you to ignore his actions. The both of you should be ashamed of your actions and admit openly you messed up in every way possible. By the way, GE, what is really bad is that you lost to G-Man of all people and Hoven. Seriously, how do you lose to two people who run a predictable script like that? With that, you three now know my full feelings on the subject. As one of the Non Sequitur show fans, you three drove away. As one of the non-sec mods who tried to keep a clean but fair ship, Casey, I modded better than you did. I didn't keep people off without several warnings. I didn't time them out without giving them several warnings. Your job is to keep the peace, not goose step over comments.
She's inept. I mean, straight up inept. And I wouldn't. By the way, fun fact. We have the super chat real quick from Lynn, and then I'll give you a fun fact.
Lynn for 10. Love the show, you guys. You'll continue to have my support and hope things continue to go well in court. Unlike them, I'd rather be broken moral and rich and immoral. Aww.
And somebody said that Dino Dapper is only like 7 subs away from like 1,000 or something like that. So
nice.
Head over to Dino Dapper's channel real quick on YouTube and give him that 7 subs. At least we can do for him.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Dapper's great.
Oh yeah, we're
doing some recording on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's stealing you. I know. Whatever. So there was something out here that was the legal definition of engineer. I wanted to point this out. There is something to be said for that. A legal engineer is somebody who can sign what's called engineering papers. There are only 3 classes of engineer that can sign engineering papers: professional, licensed, or registered. That's it. They're none of the above. Just FYI. So
there you go. Lynn, this is the comment Lynn was actually referring to earlier. Very well, I agree completely. Jimmy, I hope he admits to what he did wrong and can actually start building up his credibility again, because hand-waving all of this benefit of the doubt and people trolling is just hurting him more than the things he did wrong. He blindly believed Kyle and didn't take the time to check out the things Kyle was saying. That's not benefit of the doubt, that's blind faith. I have to wonder how he could see so many people asking questions and pointing out the glaring issues in Kyle's story, then waving them off as harassment and trolls. And it really pisses me off that he would have the balls to blame it on Steve inciting harassment. If you do something like backstab a co-host of a show, and then you can be damn sure the fans are going to be pissed, which they are. I was a huge fan of Non Sequitur Show, and honestly didn't really care about Steve all that much. But after what happened and seeing it unfold before me, I honestly grew to like Steve and enjoy his content. Aww. It made me realize It made me realize I wasn't there because of one of my favorite Flat Earth debunkers, Red's Rhetoric, was on the show a few times. It was because it was honestly a good show. I enjoyed what they had to say and talk about, as well as the motto of the show, which is what pisses me off the most. The show was about the debate and hearing both sides of the argument, not blindly believing what someone says. But to then see a show like that be taken over and turned into the Flat Earth channels blindly believing what is said with no evidence to prove it, while there are mountains of evidence that say otherwise, that and ignoring, that they ignore and call harassment. So to see that unfold before me and being a part of the discussion as a fan, you are damn right I'm going to be pissed off that people who I trusted would pull this shit. And that some of my fellow fans would discard the principles of the show and its co-host. So to top off all the fuck yous, this situation that I saw from them, to try and reduce my frustration to harassment and trolling is the last big fuck you for me. For God's sakes, I hope Jimmy realizes the errors he made through all of this and just gets mad at Kyle like the rest of us. All we want is for Jimmy to say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have blindly believed Kyle without looking into things he said. Without looking into the things he said. I should have listened to all the people who tried to warn me instead of blocking and hiding from their comments. While some of what people said could be considered harassment, the majority wasn't harassment and were honest questions and criticisms regarding Kyle's and my actions throughout the situation. It was wrong of me to try and deflect criticism away from me and Kyle. I won't do it again in the future. Steve did not send people to attack me or Kyle, and was wrong of me to say. End quote. If Jimmy says something like this, then I would have no problem forgiving him. I would wish him the best and hope he continues to grow his channel and be successful on YouTube. But the longer he doesn't acknowledge these things, the more he hurts his credibility in channel. GE and Casey can get fucked, though. They crossed a line they shouldn't have.
Yeah, well, and by the way, everybody accepts apologies differently. I don't think I could ever accept any of their apologies at this point. They've doubled, tripled, quadrupled down. And by the way, these people that write these comments, they should have written their apologies and say, let me send this to you, GE and Casey and Jimmy, so you don't look like complete assholes. Like these guys need some people to write their shit for them, like Lynn or something, because that was well written. And so that at least got Jimmy out from under it. Now I can't forgive Jimmy because again I told him when all this comes out you're gonna be looking like an idiot because I have all the evidence.
But that doesn't mean for viewers it's too late necessarily.
Yeah, you guys, whatever. This is personally for me. Because all I asked him was this, and I think this was a fair thing. I said, Jimmy, all you have to do is ask to see the books. If he shows you the books, and all the money is there, like actual bank records, and that he has a fund with $30,000 in it, because I probably would have accepted $30,000 at the time, then I will take your word for it. I will still proceed a litigation, but I'll back off and I'll be like, okay, I've had confirmation from Jimmy, who I'm going to go on, I'm going to trust him. And this is a faith thing because whatever, I admit that, but I'll be like, I'm not going to be like as hard going after where the money's at. If he says there's the money there on his reputation, I'm going to take that to be the case, because if he said the money's there and they're not, then he's screwed, right? And so I don't think he would lie to me about that. So that made sense to me. But then the narrative became that first of all, he never asked him. He never asked him for the books. And anybody who's ever asked Kyle for the books was basically, well, I don't want to show them to anybody because I don't want to make them, target of harassment. I don't want to tell you my lawyer because I don't want to be harassed. Here's the dumbest part. If the lawyer sees the books, he's a court-appointed person. He has a duty to report the truth. And so if he sees the books and says to my lawyer, we have confirmation, the money's there, boom, that's all it would have took. And yet all this would have been alleviated very easily. So either these people are the dumbest people on the planet, or the money's not there, or both. And I'm going to go with that option myself.
Steve set a low bar and Jimmy still missed it.
Oh, I mean,
Jimmy misses a lot.
I mean, I don't think that. No. I'm going to ask you guys, please be honest with me. Is that unreasonable for me to ask Jimmy for that? Is that? I mean, if it is, please let me know, because I don't think that it is. Convince me that it is unreasonable to say to him, hey, you're streaming to my channel. You're covering this up. At the time, he wasn't as much covering it up, but whatever. But all you gotta do is just, hey, Kyle, man, if I'm going to do this with you, I need to, I'm putting my reputation on the line here. Show me the book. Show me the money's there. I'll tell Steve, and boom. Oh my God, it would have been like 90% of this would have been alleviated, at least as far as their reputations.
Yeah, at least like Jimmy would have been out in the clear, and he could have just been like, yeah, it's not there, and that would have been the question to ask his friend that he was totally just giving the benefit of the doubt to.
Would have been totally off the radar.
Trolled, RDE. I have trolled non-sec, but no one but my conscience told me to do it. I am a troll army all by myself. Well done, good and faithful troll. I am only a troll sometimes, sort of like when you feed a gremlin. In my case, it happens when I see gross injustice. In my book, you are king of the good trolls. I was labeled a troll and a parasite for supporting Steve, and blocked from the show I had supported from day one. I absolutely trolled Non Sequitur Show. Nothing serious, but I did make it a point to point at least one word, thieves, and thumb down every video they posted after this happened. I did not comment any of the other scum involved, but I wanted to. Fuck Mr. Gaytheist GE and everyone else that thought Kyle was acting inappropriately. I just trolled the crap out of their YouTube chat when the word came out, and they couldn't keep up blocking everyone. I unsubscribed right away and trolled the crap out of the comments section for to a few of the videos more after that. Never got blocked directly, but probably had some comments and replies deleted, but didn't check. What did you think? And then what do we think of Shannon Q's involvement?
Real quick, timestamp here. We're about 37 minutes in. By the way, if you guys haven't noticed, I've started on time pretty regularly. I'm trying to. There'll be times we don't, but I'm trying to start this at exactly at 10 o'clock or whenever we say it is. That's kind of my goal. But I'm gonna timestamp here. I'm gonna like these two comments, and I'm gonna see if I do like the comments, and so I thumbs up, and I'm gonna heart them. I wonder if somebody's in the troll's going to go, oh, look, Steve Hardy's, he actually condones people trolling and harassing. There you go.
Yep, timestamp right here.
Timestamp right there.
Happens. Helios575 for $5. I feel like Jimmy got hurt and fell back into an old coping method taught to him when he was a Mormon because he resorted to don't listen to the outsider. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people are asking about Shannon's involvement. She's gone quiet.
I've talked to her. There's nothing. I mean, we're fine. I just basically said I'm not going to go on about it with you. If other people ask you stuff, that's their business. But she doesn't think she did anything wrong. I disagree with her, but I'm not going to harp on the issue. So
I think she's having a hard time with it, and hopefully she'll be able to come around and things will be rectified. But you guys are talking in private, so
yeah. I mean, I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not going after. I'm not going after Shannon. And I don't want anybody to go after Shannon. Let her work through this on her own. If she really doesn't think she's did anything wrong, that's fine. It's not going to make or break anything.
That's my opinion.
But I don't want to lose her. And I think that, she's hurting. And I think out of all of them, I mean, it's so funny because GE, KC, and Jimmy all play the victim. And, but I know that Shannon actually is hurt.
Shannon also tried to communicate, has actively tried to communicate.
Yeah, so I got no ill for her whatsoever.
LOL, fuck them all, fuck them in the ear. Hashtag show Steve the books. Hashtag blocked by Katie Joy. Hashtag blocked by Mr. Atheist. Hashtag blocked by jobless pretensioneer. Hashtag army of trolls. The community lives on despite the pirates that wrested control of the ship. The great debate community endures. Oh, and it looks like we're getting the ship back.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, like I said, I've got the order to it, but it's such a process. But I have restitution things to do that. So
I'm liking that one. I like that.
yeah, I said it might take several weeks to even a month to get the channel back. But it's in progress.
Yeah.
Or
Fun fact,
wait, quick. Or somebody could avoid felony criminal charges potentially by just turning it over to me right now. But whatever.
Somebody said, fun fact, I told Aaron that Nonsec had issues. What did he say? He never went back on, did he? Winky face. Oh, clueless engineer. GE grade school entrepreneur. Where in SoCal are you? I kind of thought you were at the high... Oh, somebody's asking about where you are.
Yeah, I'm in the high desert. I'm north of Temecula.
We're in the end game now. I'm definitely trolling Tom Dump. Not only do I not like his smug, fat-lipped, arrogant fuck face, but I think he is stupid and a shit stain on the sofa.
I really want people's opinion on this because Tom Jump has said that philosophers have agreed with him and think he's brilliant. Anybody who's out there, anybody who ever listened to this, if you're a philosopher or you know a philosopher that thinks Tom Jump knows what the fuck he's talking about, please, I beg you, contact me. I beg you. Because everyone I've ever talked to thinks he's a complete idiot. And and if you go to his Twitter, I mean, it's all money oriented. It's just like, give me, just like, I love money. There's a guy out there that says, I'm going to give you guys $1,000 if you retweet this kind of thing. And he's just like retweeted this guy like repeatedly. And he's trying to promote his book. He doesn't care about the issues. He's trying to promote this book that he's supposedly writing on epistemology that I've already broken down, like page 1, pull your head out of your ass, epistemology 101. You don't know what you're talking about, epistemology 101. That's his entire shtick. He has absolutely nothing. Now, if you guys disagree with me, I want to find a person who actually thinks Tom Jump knows what the fuck he's talking about. I really do, because I can't find one. When it comes to epistemology.
McRarmy.
McRarmy.
Is that where you where you hang plants from knitted rope?
McRarmy.
Yo, I absolutely love Red Eye. That man has a way with words. Yep. I have no idea what this stuff is. Oh, I think this is about the cyberbullying stuff. I'm just gonna skip that.
Yeah.
Because who cares? Congrats on the case, Steve. I'm not surprised you won, but still glad for you. Love seeing someone get what they deserve and, most importantly, earned. Have a great day. Again, thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Oh,
Jimmy Snowflake, how do you blow? I'm Mr. Atheist. Let's douche this.
Yeah, by the way, it starts with an N. I can't pronounce his name. It's on Twitter, but it starts with an N. You guys can go see it. But he came up with Jimmy Snowflake and the Latter Day Hate. Jimmy Snowflake and Church of Latter Day Hate. That's what it was.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought that was pretty clever. But real quick, like I mentioned this, the narrative actually out there's people going around going, well, Steve never served in the military. Steve's lying about this. Oh, really? Explain how I actually have shown my Westpac books. I've actually showed my veterans card. I don't have a DD-214 with me. I did it one time. I think I showed it years ago, maybe, but I don't have it with it. But my medals, my shipmates are on the Facebook. Go ask them. Go ask.
Red Eye says, I yelled aloud angry words. Ree.
But isn't it pretty desperate to say that I didn't serve in the military? I'm like, that's pretty fucking stupid.
I mean, it's kind of just throwing shit to see
Whatever
what sticks, and that's not gonna stick. That's just a pot shot rabbit turd. It's not gonna stick to anything.
Yeah, Dapper Duke's a nuke. I guarantee it. He can ask me nuke questions, and the only way you're going to know this stuff is if you actually went to nuke school.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see more debates. Yes, please. It's over the right person. One time to get back to the good stuff. Yes, all of that is being currently worked on in the background. We're getting there.
Oh, by the way, it was an hour and 27 minutes. Oh my God. I said 27 minutes at the time step. It was an hour and 27 minutes in. We have almost at the 2. We're going on to complete show. Holy crap.
Yeah, we're right at the end of the comments.
I thought it was going to be a short show, and that's what I said at the beginning. I'm probably wrong. But whatever. Well, there you go.
We all knew you were going to be wrong. Just Steve can never admit when he is wrong.
I know.
Obviously.
And worst part is, I didn't think we could go through all these comments. I thought we were just going to hit the top ones. We actually went through all of them, which is great because these comments were fantastic. I mean, you guys really hit the nail on the head. So, by the way, and I got to figure out how to get rid of this. So, where do you guys want to leave this? Like I said, I will be gone for a while, so get it all out now, because I'm going to be incommunicado.
We've got couple more comments, and then we're done. And then we should do. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask us questions. If anybody tells you or says something that, oh, you're just perpetuating drama, point them in the direction of the beginning of this show. Hi, Steve. Kurregard here. Congratulations on your justified victory. Atrocious behavior from Kyle and his cronies. Looking forward to the news. Looking forward to the non sequitur show back up and running with some science. Steve McRae, narcissist troll army leader, checking in, winky face. Darn, I missed it live. Can't wait to hear how some of the non sequitur show fans truly feel about Kyle's cronies hijacking the beloved show. The real KC joined. Awesome. That's right. King Crocoduck showed up.
Yeah.
And that is the end of the comments. Thank you, guys. We did want to make sure that you actually got heard, and even though that you couldn't be necessarily there live during the rum and coke, because what you guys saying is important.
Yes, very much so. So I'm going to be like taking off here. Cheshire's basically taking over for a week for anything that you guys need or have questions. Cheshire and Red speak for me unequivocally. If they mess up anything, I'll just fix it when I get back. But pretty much,
we're gonna mess up everything.
Yeah, pretty much. They have a power of attorney for everything that on anything, figuratively speaking. Figuratively signed a power of attorney.
I was told that I made an executive decision. I own the channel now, and then Steve is conveniently going on vacation for a month. The time for me to strike is now.
Don't underestimate her. Guy, you don't even know. I don't trust her very much. Okay.
Someone's asking if they can shill for a veterans mental health charity that they're raising for. Yes, please do.
Look,
absolutely.
By all means, this channel and the Great Debate Community channel especially, they're for promotion of other shows, promotion of fundraisers, promotion of the other stuff. I really want to help people. I really want to help other channels. I want to help other people.
We did that the other day.
Yeah.
There was on the GDC.
Yeah, with Pupalovagus. But so, I mean, that's what I want these things to be known for. I really, as Nick said, I get off helping people. I do enjoy it. I got help from people. I'm paying that forward, and I hope other people pay it forward, because I really do believe that if the channels get all together and they help each other, how could you go wrong? I mean, you bring in different. I mean, yeah, we all have the same core audience. Don't get me wrong, but there's also people bringing in from other channels and other people. So it's just a melting pot. That's how I envisioned it when I started the GDC on G Plus, to say, I want to have this vision where we have a community where people just kind of get together and talk about things. Even though there was already existed a small subgroup like that wasn't formalized by any stretch of imagination. And it took off. It took off. And that's why Kyle got a hold of me to do the Non Sequitur show, because he liked the stuff we were doing with the Great Debate Community. That's why to this day, early podcast says Non Sequitur show brought to you by the Great Debate Community. That's why I put the Great Debate Community logo on all my things. That is trademarked. I actually have a thing pending, or will be pending here soon, through the court system. To my lawyer, because he does trademarks too. And some other stuff we're working on. By the way, I just got a letter from him. Not going to read it, but good stuff. Yeah. So we are looking into. I'll just say this: we are looking into the criminal aspect. That's not bluffing.
Somebody asked, can one of the first streams on Non Sequitur Show be with Dapper Dino? I do not doubt that Dapper Dino will show up at some point.
Yeah, if and when we get back to the Non Sequitur Show, because like I said, we have won the thing. It has been the remedies has been to give me back the channel. But the first episode we ever have on there, is a certain group of people that we have to have on. Obviously, like a Sandering. I think has asked to be on, and
we've already. They said one of the first episodes, so early.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like they're both nukes. They're both gonna nerd out about nuke school shit for like 4 hours, and we're all gonna be like, guys.
Yeah, Nazareth. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Nazareth in live chat. He's the one that came up with Jimmy Snowflakes and the Jimmy Snowflake and the Church of Latter-day Hate, and I thought that was just spot on.
That's clever, yeah.
But by the way, and I'll throw this out there, I didn't remember this. Somebody put this answer to me. Maybe you guys remember this. I don't watch Jimmy's stuff, but he said at one time that he used to be really egotistical, really narcissistic. Is that true? Because if so, he hasn't changed. And just, sucking a dick doesn't all of a sudden make you not a narcissist. I am convinced he's a narcissist. I'm convinced Kyle's a narcissist. I'm convinced Katie's a narcissist.
Yeah, we're going to have to find somebody who talks paleontology to hang out with Dapper.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah,
do we know anybody else who talks paleontology?
Yeah, Trevor Vail.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah.
We were already putting it together.
Yeah. No,
paleontology.
We'll make all that happen. But
maybe I'll have to find somebody who thinks that giants are real.
Can we add to? By the way, send Cheshire words you want to have defined, and Cheshire has a list. Can we add this word to the list, Cheshire, if you don't already have it? Because I don't think you do. Ready?
Yep.
Projection.
I do have that one.
Oh, you already have it. All right. Well, never mind then. Projection, because these guys are masters at projection. I swear to God, they accuse me of everything that they are, and I think that's the most funniest thing. It's like a mirror.
Yeah, I've got a list of words. I'll let you guys know what they are ahead of time so you can look out for them, because these are just words that I see usually just get thrown out as pejoratives or thrown out to dismiss what somebody is saying. We went over drama, but gaslighting, gatekeeping, blank phobia, trolling, genetic fallacy, the tu quoque fallacy, triggered, projection, ad hom, white knighting, and virtue signaling.
Yeah. So if you got more that you'd like to have defined, and by the way, since we have so many, we'll probably do maybe 2 at a time. I don't know. Or you just want,
I don't know.
I don't know.
This is just to help these guys if they're ever actually engaging with trolls, or whether or not, like, if they're trying to have conversations on Twitter, or if they're trying to engage in conversations, to be able to call these things out properly when they are seen, and explain to people if they get called these things that is actually not the case.
Yeah, but do you want to do 1 an episode or 2 an episode? We're gonna have a long list. I mean, we got a lot of episodes ahead of us, but.
I mean, I can group them together. That's fine. I can do like gaslighting and gatekeeping, and then take fallacies 2 at a time or 3 at a time. Do genetic ad hom and tu quo.
Yeah, I think we might. I'm just because I think there's so many words that we probably get to, and I think these are words that people should be exposed to and know kind of how to use them properly, because all of them are being used incorrectly, I think, by trolls.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is what they do. I mean, they throw these things out there like, oh, you're this, you're that. I mean, let's put it this way: when you have to resort to calling Cheshire a gender traitor,
traitor to your gender.
When you call Bullinator and Dave McGinnis bigots, something's wrong with your narrative. Okay. Something's wrong. Now, you might be able to convince a few people that I'm those terms. Fair enough. There's stupid people out there. But to try to convince people that they're these things, much harder hurdle to get over. Harder hurdle to get over. I mean, I'm an easy target because I'm a lot more public than them. But for God's sake, what the hell you guys what? These trolls need a better commander, I'm sure.
You'd think. You would think.
All right, guys, I'm going on vacation, like I said. Thank you very much for watching this. I love the show. I think this is kind of a continuation of where the non sequitur kind of stopped, but we're doing it better. And by the way, looks of it, we have great graphics, great fan base, and great co-host. I got Kyle 2.0. So
he thought that's true.
Oh, she's going to be on DP like once a month, by the way, I think from now on. So.
I've got. I'll be there at the end of next week. Oh, no, I'll be there next week. Next week I'll be on DP.
Yeah, and I'm going to be in October, too, after vacation. I'm also going to be on the Shills after the vacation, and some other stuff that I've got planned out. By the way, no, I'm not the troll commander. Cheshire is the troll army commander. I don't know why people think I command trolls. She's the leader of all that. I'm just the Pope.
I'm just the Pope. Goblin commander.
You got anything else, Chesh?
No, I think that's everything. Right. I'll see what I can come up with. Maybe I'll show you guys how I make breakfast in the morning one morning.
All right.
Steve is gone.
Then I'll see you guys either once on the week or at least on the weekend, and we'll be streaming and showing pictures of our date. Bye.
Cheshire. Ba-dum-bum.